Yeah. Don't ever doubt you'll be a someone. Always go for what you want. Get up and put your purpose on. Get up, feel the sunshine on your face. Believe that you deserve it all. Put in the work and you will end up far. This is my show and tell. So tell me, are you ready to get it on? So tell me, yeah. So tell me, are you ready? So tell me, are you ready for me? So tell me, are you ready? Tell me, are you ready?
What's up, y'all? It's Lawrence Hicks Wilson. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome back to my channel if it isn't. And if you can't tell by that intro or the collection or the sneak peek at what the website looked like at the time, we're talking about the 26th anniversary of Brandy's iconic sophomore album, released June 9th in 1998. Never Say Never. Let's get into it. Listen, let me prop y'all as we listen to that. So back in the day when you used to go to websites, there used to be intricacy. It used to be a lot of stuff going on the website, but a lot of good stuff. Music playing in the background, pictures, rose petals falling, chat rooms, all kind of stuff. So what you're hearing is the essence and the ambience of the Never Say Never website at the time. If y'all can't hear what's going on in the background, let me cut that down just a little bit so y'all can hear me. So today we're gonna talk about Brandy's Never Say Never. Now, if anybody knows, I am the biggest Brandy fan. It's a Brandy world over here. If you can't tell by my shirt, that's why I had to wear my Never Say Never shirt. Look, can y'all see the back? Hey, look at that, look at that, look at that. Hold on, look. Let me see if y'all can get the other side. Y'all see that? Fly. Now, this era has produced so many hits, and it is the blueprint and the foundation for many of her albums and many other artists' albums. This album alone, all you have to do is mention this album alone. Everybody had this album. It was one of the best-selling albums. The album came out in 1998, but by 2001, it was almost like this album was still new and still a high, like it was still charting, which is pretty good. So I have so many different versions to this album. I have all of the singles. I have so many different things that complement this album. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you everything because I have a promotional Never Say Never cloth that I cannot find right now. But if you check out my Baby music video, I covered Brandy's Baby, and I did a music video to it. You can see the posters on the back, and you can see that cloth Never Say Never posters. Oh yeah, and I covered Almost Doesn't Count. I covered Baby and Almost Doesn't Count. Baby has a music video to it, so I'm gonna link that in the description and also put that at the top so y'all can click it. But also check out my video to Baby and check out my Almost Doesn't Count cover. I just, decided to sing it for Brandy's birthday. So let me know what y'all think of that. Speaking of Almost Doesn't Count, we're gonna get to that too. So I have the original LP, which is over there. This is the re-released version of the LP. This is the 75th Atlantic anniversary version that was just released last year, I believe. This is the clear vinyl. This is the original CD from 1998 with the hype sticker on it. I bought it new. I think it either had a Kmart sticker on it or something, but it was super cool opening it. Of course, I had the cassette. I want to get more. I'm gonna get more. I have the 2-disc Australian edition version, which includes The Boy Is Mine video. Is a clip and a Have You Ever music video on here, a biography, an interview, and the second disc has a Have You Ever remix and the Top of the World remix, and disc 1 is just the original rollout of the album, which is cool to have. Can somebody, all of the nerds, all the technology guys out there that know how to re-hook up computers, can y'all help me hook up the CD-ROM and download all the pieces that I need to ever play this? Because I would love to see what exactly was on it, because I'm highly positive that YouTube doesn't have it. So yeah, these are the other copies of Never Say Never. I have so many copies because my sister was my bully, and one of them she cut up with the scissors. Another copy I broke when I was running with it and fell. Another copy, what happened to it? Flew off the back of my mom's car. So many things. So that's why I have so many copies as backup. You know what I'm saying? Like, And you know, this was probably the start of the height, because she was already at a height with Moesha and her first album and being on soundtracks like Waiting to Exhale and being in movies like Cinderella. She was slated to be in the I Still Know What You Did Last Summer franchise, which I have the magazines for at this time. So at this time, Brandy was gracing all of the magazines for I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, for Moesha, and the promotion of her album. So she was busy. Never Say Never, I would have to say, is the blueprint to many sophomore albums, to many albums that came out after it and around that time. Like, for instance, I personally feel like if it wasn't for Brandy's Never Say Never, sorry to get out of the frame like that, but I have so much stuff I want to show you guys. So many things that I want to show you guys. I feel like if it wasn't for Brandy's Never Say Never, we wouldn't have the sound of Britney Spears' first album would be different. If it wasn't for Brandy's first album, the sound of Britney Spears' album would be different. Christina Aguilera's album would be different. Destiny's Child's The Writings on the Wall would be different. What else would be different? Mary J. Blige's Mary from 1999. The way that album looked, the album would have looked different, because it was such a regal time for the black and white, for the speedier tones, for the regal look, for the long flowing pop diva type hair. You know, like a lot of the female artists kind of had that aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? With the sounds, the sonic sounds of Say My Name. Say My Name sounds like The Boy Is Mine. Most of these songs on this album sounds like it could have been on Never Say Never if it was produced by Rodney Jerkins or anybody that was on that sound at that time. It's just, you know, this album was super impactful. Even Monica named her album after the hit single The Boy Is Mine, which was the first single off of this album. I have the cassette and both of the CDs. After Brandy went on a musical hiatus, rather, it was almost like we didn't really miss her, because it was like everywhere you looked, you couldn't miss her. Like, Moesha was on, Cinderella was on, everything. She had it going on, so there was nowhere you could not go and not see her. So yeah, the first single, The Boy Is Mine, released June 7th, I believe, in 1998, because Brandy and Monica, there was rumors with them not getting along, with them actually not liking each other, so it made the best sense for them to come together to do a duet, because people believed that they already didn't like each other. Now, this was the first Word Up magazine probably that featured Monica and Brandy for The Boy Is Mine. I like that they use old pictures of them from their first eras to kind of like, hey, Brandy and Monica's coming together, because these were the images being displayed for them as we knew them. That's probably the image that popped up in people's heads of Brandy at this time, you know, because Never Say Never also introduced the newer look. You know, Cinderella, she had the long braids, so coming into Never Say Never, she had those long micro braids, because we're already familiar. Like, branding and marketing is everything. It's everything. So many other magazines that she graced, like the cover of Jet to promote her album Never Say Never. What was another one? She covered Vibe and Ebony. I have that too. I'm sure she covered way more than that, but these are the ones that I have. This is the Vibe, the infamous Vibe cover from that time, featuring the lovely, bubblicious Brandy. What a gorgeous freaking shot of her. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever laid my eyes on. Now, there's an Ebony magazine in here in this pile somewhere. And when it pops up, I'll show y'all. Actually, it's right here. So you have, is this a picture of Monica? Also, I have a picture of Monica because I wanted to show y'all that she was also doing her thing at this time too. Like if you saw Brandy, you saw Monica too. And I used to have that hanging up. She was on the cover of Ebony magazine to promote the second album around this time. This was June, July, August. So this was 2 months after the album was released. Gorgeous. And yeah. So many things. So let's go through the track listing just real quick. I'm not going to keep y'all long. Saints, amen. Amen. Let's just run through this because I want to show y'all all of the goodies that came with this album instead of talk about the tracks, because we all know how iconic the tracks are. But I wanted to show y'all how iconic this era was for Brandy, period. We're 8 minutes in. Let me keep y'all hooked. Anybody remember Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles? Brandy was on the cereal box in 1998, and if you opened the cereal box and it started to play music, you could win a free CD. And it featured this gorgeous picture of Brandy from the Never Say Never era, Cleopatra. You got Sugar Hill Gang, you got All For One, Chaz Shepard. You have all these people on here, and I knew I always wanted one, but I could never. I remember my sisters were much older than me, so they actually had this box of cereal. I don't think they won, but I had to go find my copy on eBay, needless to say. But I love that they used pictures of her from the Never Say Never era for this. But guess what song they chose? I always thought at this time that they were going to choose Have You Ever, because when this was out, I believe Have You Ever was a single, but they chose I Want to Be Down. But they chose I Want to Be Down for this, which is pretty cool. But just to show you how big of a deal she was, and she was everywhere. There was nowhere you could not go and see her. She was on your cereal box. If you went into the stores, the albums were sitting on the shelves, you know what I'm saying? And just the following year, well, that year she became a cover girl, but the following year, 1999, she had more commercials and promotions and went on tour for the album, and that's where you got all of the cover girl ads. So there was just nowhere you could not go and see her. By 2000, she had released a Barbie Brandy doll by Mattel. It was extremely popular by 2000, and they were still producing dolls and putting them up for sale by 2002. They had already moved on to Brandy's third album. That's a big deal. She was still a cover girl model at that time too, in 2002. So she started modeling for them in 98. Her first one was with Tyra Banks in 1998. She also was with Candies, with Little Kim. So she had a lot of endorsements, Candies, cover girl. And by 2000, she had her own doll. This is the Right On magazine cover with Little Kim and Brandy, promoting Candies and also promoting their new music at the time. Kim was we were highly anticipating a new Kim album, but all she had was hardcore. Now that's how you know you got pulled, when you can release an album but still have people fiending almost 5 years later. Like, oh no, we waiting. You know what I'm saying? So you got Kim, the Queen Bee, and another Queen Bee. So yeah, the first single to come off of this album, which ended up winning a Grammy and charted #1 for 13 weeks, The Boy Is Mine, featuring Monica. I know you guys just seen Ariana Grande, Monica, and Brandy come together for Ariana Grande's video, The Boy Is Mine. They looked so good, and they redid the cover, so I loved seeing that. Yes. And okay, so before we go, look, before we go into the rest of this album, let me just slide through. So Angel in Disguise, which is track 2, you have the intro. Speaking of intros, Angel in Disguise and the Never Say Never album. Anybody that listens to Never Say Never on Spotify and Apple Music, you're probably not getting the experience you deserve. So let me just play for you how the songs are supposed to fade into each other. I'm still playing the website. So anybody that has Apple Music, Spotify, and all those things, the album is not playing correctly. Of course, you got the intro, you know, the beautiful intro. You can't even skip the intro, right? You got to play. That's not how it's supposed to start. Y'all hear that? That's not right. Do you hear how Almost Doesn't Count starts? Look, listen to how it sounds. That's not how it's supposed to start. I really wish Apple Music and Spotify would fix this because it's ruining the listening pleasure. And I think they know that. I don't know if they want people to stop streaming the album or something, but it's ruining the listening pleasure. It's supposed to fade into each other and it starts like that. Almost Doesn't Count just comes in like that. So I really need y'all to fix it because it's ruining the listening pleasure. And every time we're out and about trying to stream for our convenience, not because albums don't exist anymore, but streaming is a convenience. You're ruining the convenience. So please fix that. And I already called Apple Music. Yes, I did. I had them on the phone and they said it's the distributor that set the album like that. So Warner Atlantic, please stop playing with this album. It's irritating. All right, moving on. So that track, Angel in Disguise, I actually have the Angel in Disguise single in vinyl, which was not for sale. So don't ask me how I got it, but I'm sure all the DJs that had to promote the single at the time had it. So this is track 2 coming off of the amazing Never Say Never intro. And this single has a instrumental, a cappella, the album mix, of course, and a per cappella, meaning it has beats on it and vocals, but no like drums, which is a pretty cool mix. That's why singles are important, not just releasing one single or a 2-minute song, but actually the instrumentals, the remixes. Look, y'all not gonna be taking my intellectual ideas. Y'all not gonna be able to do it like me. I'm just giving y'all ideas to be better at your music. Because we miss this kind of stuff and we actually could appreciate it. So, track 3, we already talked about The Boy's Mind coming right off of Angel in Disguise. And I just love the way that The Boy's Mind starts on Brandy's album because it doesn't start this way on Monica's album. The boy's mine, the boy's mine, the boy's mine, the boy's mine, the boy's mine. Yeah, I just love it. I just love the way it starts. I used to keep starting it over just to hear it because I thought it was funny as a kid. It's still funny to me. So track 4, you got Learn the Hard Way. I love the guitar, I don't know what instrument that is, but it's I've never heard anything like it, and that's what I love about Brandy. She always has some kind of production that's not easy to emulate. I'll tell you that. And it'd be simple. So after that, you got the amazing Almost Doesn't Count, which I also have the singles for Almost Doesn't Count. I also have another Boy's Mind single. This is the UK version. It has a club mix, an acapella, an instrumental, all those things. So this is the UK version. The cover is just a slight cropped difference. And I have the cassette. They're all different. They all sound different, especially when you pop in the cassette. Something about the quality of a cassette really does me good at 3 in the morning, okay, when everybody's asleep. But going after to track 5, after track 4, going into Almost Doesn't Count. I want to show y'all all of the Almost Doesn't Count singles that I have because there's a few of them. There's a few variations. So here's the promotional single. This is the Almost Doesn't Count single that we are probably most used to. This is the cover that I remember. This is the cover that was being used a lot. This is the, I remember seeing this promotional picture of Brandy for a lot of stuff. I believe this is also the VH1 Divas Live picture that they used for her. Look, I had to set the ambience. I had to bring it back. Now, my Divas Live CD is over there. And if I go over there, I don't want to like draw up this video, but Brandy was featured on VH1's Divas Live. I do have that CD. I wish I had it in my lap, which features Whitney, Cher, Tina Turner, like the greats. To be 19 years old, well, she was 20 at that time, because she was 19 in 1998, so 99 she was 20. To be 20 years old and to be on stage with the likes of those women, including Shaka Khan and Mary J. Blige, it's a big deal. This is the UK version of the Almost Doesn't Count single. Which they all have different mixes. This one only has the album version. This one has a radio remix, album version, and the DJ Premier mix. Now, the radio version to Almost Doesn't Count used to be played on the radio. I don't remember hearing it, but my sister does, and she remembers it being played on the radio at the county fair. You know how they used to play songs on the roller coaster as you're riding? That was one of the songs that was being played, and I was like, I wish I was there to experience it. This is part 2 to Almost Doesn't Count, which includes a club remix, a pool club remix, and Have You Ever the Soul Shank remix, and it displays a alternative cover, a beautiful shot of the gorgeous Brandy, and that is track 5 off of the Never Say Never album. Going into track 6, we have Top of the World. I don't have all the versions and variations to Top of the World yet. I only have one. This is the UK version of Top of the World Part 1. The other one is green. Actually, I do have the Part 2. See, look. Now I have to go look for it. And I have to go look for the Divas Live. Hold on. So, Brandy Top of the World Part 1 and Brandy Top of the World Part 2. I have both of them. This one features the remix with Fat Joe, and it also has a Big Pun on it. And to have Big Pun on your song at the time is a big deal, you know. And they have also the Boogie Soul remix with Mace as well. So I have both versions to Top of the World, which is track 6. And mentioning the VH1 Divas Live album, I was pretty much able to go over there and snag it real quick. That's what it looks like. That's the picture that they chose. And like I said, that is a big deal to be featured with these kind of divas at this time. LeAnn Rimes, Mary J. Blige, Chaka Khan, Faith Hill, you know what I'm saying? Whitney Houston. Such a big deal. I also have the DVD and the VHS. I am not about to go pull that out. And I also have a VHS of the original recording that includes more performances by Whitney Houston and commercials that includes Whitney and Brandy. You cannot find all of that footage on the edited version that they sell, like the edited version that they sell with the cover on it. That's why I had to buy like someone's like VHS that they recorded it from that night or the night after, because it aired a few times. But the original with no editing. So I love that version of the concert. So many things came with this album as well. The Brandy Star Profile, released in 2000 or the end of 99. But I have that great interview where she talks about her life and has great photos and everything in it. But going back to the album, you have track number 7, You Don't Know Me Like You Used To, and I absolutely have the single. Look, here's another Never Say Never album. I absolutely have the single to it, and it includes a remix. Almost doesn't count in Top of the World remixes. This is track 7 off of the Never Say Never album. I also have the poster on the wall. Look. Can y'all see it real quick? I'm gonna just turn the camera so y'all can see. This was from the video shoot, You Don't Know Me Like You Used To. I was also shooting a TV show on that same lot at the Los Angeles studios. I shot a TV show over there recently, and I'm gonna post that because I realized this is where Brandy shot You Don't Know Me Like You Used To. I wonder if anybody else will realize this. I wanted to like recreate the dance, but like we were shooting for like 12-14 hours, so I tried to get as much footage as I could at that time. So this is also another You Don't Know Me Like You Used To single, but we're going to talk more about that as I go through the album. So you have track 7, You Don't Know Me Like You Used To. I love that beat. And track number 8, Never Say Never, the title album to this record. I love the beat. I love the guitars and just the harmonies and the bridge, everything that she did. Just the way that she looked, the micro braids, the soft baby hair, the spaghetti strap and the linen outfit that she's wearing. Like everything about this, like you know that a lot of artists was taking notes from her after she released this. This is Never Say Never. The single, which includes the You Don't Know Me Like You Used To track, the album version, and it also includes the remix to You Don't Know Me Like You Used To and Never Say Never, the album version. It also includes a jazz mix of Never Say Never, which is pretty freaking cool. So track number 9, you got Truthfully, which I love. Side note, when I first got this album, it was Christmas and my godparents made me a Brandy book. This is the actual photo album from that Christmas, and this was the first image that I saw opening it. So can you imagine being a kid, like 2 or 3 years old? Like I was very advanced, so stuff like this was just everything to me. So this is why I cherish this kind of stuff, and I'm passionate about it in hopes that a child will grow up and like me just the same and have pictures of me and be inspired by my music, you know, like so many rare shots of Brandy in this book, y'all. Look, well, I'm gonna show y'all that some other time, but this is my little Never Say Never book that goes with that, Truthfully. And after that, you got Have You Ever with track 10. Of course, I have the Have You Ever singles. I had another one over here. I have no idea what I did with it, but I had to buy 2 because someone messed up my Have You Ever poster that came with it, so I had to rebuy it so I can get the poster again. This is a promotional shot, a calendar for Never Say Never, which was sold at HMV, and you could get a free 5-ounce jar of scented Brandy body glitter with a purchase of the album only at HMV. Anybody in 99 had this and had the, Brandy body glitter? But Have You Ever, which includes Happy as a B-side, and Have You Ever, the radio version and the LP version. That's why I had to get this, because I did not know Happy was ever a B-side. And anybody that knows, if you saw Double Platinum, you know Happy was a big deal for us fans because she performed it. Here's the Black Beat cover to the promotion of that movie and everything that was going on at that time. Yeah. She performed it on the Never Say Never tour. It was the opening track, and that's probably one of my favorite performances besides Top of the World. Everybody's talking about Chris Brown singing Upside Down. When Brandy went on that Never Say Never tour and they hooked her up to them strings, she was doing backflips and singing Upside Down. She ain't like, you know, her and Chris Brown are different, but still, to be up there to do that, that is a big deal, and you just got to give it to her. I don't think they give her the credit that she deserves because they're so blinded by her image. Oh, she's such a good girl, but she's not really a nice girl. You guys are just haters. It's called marketing and branding. These are real people with real personalities and feelings. Of course, she's not going to be like the person you think you see in this picture. This is just for the... Come on now, stop it. Y'all making it seem like she didn't woke up one morning and decided to be evil and open a cult and poison and kill like villages of people. Like, she's not a bad person. Stop it. This is the Have You Ever single. And just a big deal, just a side note, the reason why Angel in Disguise could not be a single is because Have You Ever was at #1 and it made no sense to put out and promote another single, which I could understand. Now, track number 11, you got Put That on Everything. Besides Angel in Disguise, Put That on Everything is another album favorite from a lot of Brandy fans and a lot of people that don't know who Brandy is. Every time they hear that song, they go, wow. They go, wow. I have the Never Say Never tour on DVD, by the way. I had to bootleg it, and I have the Japan version and the Chicago version, and any other version that comes out soon, I will be having that too, because I feel like somebody got it, along with many other pictures. But Put That on Everything, that's one of those Brandy songs that is heavily talked about because of the harmonies, the beats, everything that goes with it. And yes, that's the website going in the background, the Never Say Never website. Did y'all notice that Rose Petals was falling? Like, the details that they had with the website, it wasn't just like a blog type, Instagram type website. There was actually effort and detail put into it because we would pay attention to stuff like that. I'm sorry about y'all having attention span problems, but I think it's a conspiracy. Anyhow, track number 13 after Put That on Everything, of course, is Happy, and we just talked about that. Put That on Everything comes after Have You Ever, which is track 10. So 11, Put That on Everything. 12, you have an interlude, In the Car interlude, which features Ray J's That's Why I Lie from the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack. And that soundtrack also features Are You That Somebody by Aaliyah. I love that track by Ray J. I have Ray J's album, so I wish that was included on his second album, but it wasn't. But yeah, coming off of that first album and to hear the growth of Ray J with That's Why I Lie from Let It Go, it's like, yeah, he was actually maturing, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So Happy, you have Happy at track 13. Track 14, One Voice. 15, Tomorrow. Now, One Voice, it features her father's vocals and her father's choir, as well as Hezekiah Walker's choir. So if you don't know who that choir is singing, that's who that is. She also performed that in 2000 and won an award for it. And she got had a performance with Rosie O'Donnell in 1999 with that One Voice song. There were so many performances on television. The Boy Is Mine almost doesn't count. You Don't Know Me Like You Used To. Have You Ever? One Voice. All of those songs were performed on television at least once. Yeah. So you have Tomorrow, track 15, which was written by Wanye Morris. Sorry, shout out to you, Wanye Morris. We still love you. We're not beefing. We just know what the history is now, and it's all good, you know. And I don't know if they were dating when she was a minor or not. But she said out of her mouth that she was dating him when she turned 18. So that's the one I'm gonna go with. Because I do remember Sonia saying when she was 15 and 16, she wants to do adult things that I'm not going to allow her to do. And that's why we bump heads. So I don't know. She probably dated him secretly. And with Sonia finding out, that was the strife between the two of them. But for everybody that's going out there saying her mama let her date this grown man, y'all don't even know. Y'all just, if you don't like Brandy, just say you don't like Brandy. Just move on. Anyway. This was the cover of 17. She graced the cover of 17 during her first album, which is the big deal. So she graced it again. And I also have this poster promoting the album. 17, 1998, promoting Brandy's album, Never Say Never. And on her music, Moesha, Movies, and Mace, and Jewel. It's funny that it says Jewel because we all know that they tried to cast Jewel, I heard, as Cinderella, which would have been an entire mess. Yeah. So black hair, 1998, June and July. I love that they used these old pictures to promote her because she already had changed her look at this time, but still, only a Brandy fan like me would notice something like that. So many gems. Sheet music to Have You Ever. I have that. Ba-doop boop. What else do I have? 17 magazine the year after promoting the Never Say Never tour for the album. That's what that cover looks like. And all of her Barbies pretty much complimented the evolution. So when people go, oh, her Barbie looks skinnier, like she was skinnier, you know, because she was getting older and, you know, all that other stuff that was going on with her. But I felt like the dolls that came out in the first leg, like in the early 2000s or like 99, they looked like a teenage Brandy. But the dolls that were coming out in 2002 looked like more of an adult Brandy because they had like articulated like bodies, like they were really cool and detailed. But that 17 cover looks like one of the dolls. This is a hair magazine from, I want to say 99 or 2000, June 1999. Using that You Don't Know Me Like You Used To luxurious look. This is the first time we saw Brandy in bangs and loose hair, because this was the original look for Never Say Never, but the label thought that she looked too grown and they didn't use all of those pictures, so they put her back in braids because it was what we were familiar with. But they kind of gave us like a looky look at what she would have been giving us had we been able to see a more mature Brandy at this time. But for those of us that have the Full Moon album, we got it. We got that grown-up Brandy. I have other covers featuring Brandy and Mace to promote Top of the World at the time. Good girls like bad boys. Good girl, bad boy. Get it? Bad boy. Usher doing his thing at the time. Monica at the top, because again, there was nowhere where you could see Brandy and not see Monica, right? This was actually in October of 1998. So many stuff that I have. Another black hair magazine. Look at this. I love this shot of her. Look at just the smile. She don't even have to show her teeth. She's just so beautiful. Again, Monica. And you see TLC. This is 98, so it's funny that they're using these pictures of TLC. Yeah, Elise Neal, The Brat. Love that. There's another magazine. Look, is this another one too? What's this one down here? Upscale. Look. Hype Hair magazine promoting Brandy's album. Look at that picture of Monica at the top. I love that they used the For You I Will Monica for this magazine. But yes, 98. Another regal shot of Brandy with those long, iconic micro braids. Some of the girls don't even realize they were wearing micro braids like this because she made it a thing at this time for the late 90s and the early 2000s. And just for y'all that don't know what these are actually interlocks made by Kim Kimble. Kim Kimble does hair for Zendaya and Beyonce. Kim Kimble, which in the magazine, I was reading in the magazine, I believe it is actually either this one or this one. Kim Kimble explains how she braided each braid one by one. She made those interlocks one by one and locked them into Brandy's head. She made them piece by piece. Like she had just braid pieces, long. I forget the inches, but they were like, it was an inch that they don't sell in stores. So that's how I know that it was specially made for Brandy. And she made the braids each by each and then interlocked them. Instead of buying the pack of hair that was already braided, she braided it herself, made her own interlocks. That's why the ends of her braids look like that. But Kim Kimble, effort. Talk about, no one's doing that kind of effort no more. Everybody want quick stuff, give me some baby hairs, quick stuff, and it be looking a mess. But yes, anyway, that is all the magazines I have. The final track off of Never Say Never is Everything I Do It For You, which I have the poster to and the single. And it features the Everything I Do For You album version, You Don't Know Me Like You Used To, and the Have You Ever Soul Shank remix. I love how they tailed off of the last single that was out. But yes, I know this was probably maybe a little bit longer than usual, but I had to show y'all everything that I had, and that's not even everything, you know. I used to draw Brandy all the time, and this was my interpretation of her. If I finished my work early, my teacher would let me do it. But yes, that's my review of Brandy's Never Say Never. Talk about an iconic sophomore album, a Grammy-winning record, trailblazing record, from the way that it looked, the way that it sounded, from the album packaging, from everything. This is the blueprint in the New Testament, because we all know what the Old Testament and the Vocal Bible is, and that's that first album. Amen. Amen. So many things I can say more about this album, but I don't want to keep y'all long and torture y'all. And if there's anything else I forgot, I'll probably will mention it in another Brandy video that I make, because I know that there's more anniversaries coming up. But yes, please stream and buy Brandy's Never Say Never in Apple Music and Warner and Atlantic. Fix y'all streaming version of Never Say Never. It's irritating. Angel in Disguise, it's starting off like the single version, as well as Almost Doesn't Count. And those are the versions that actually belong on the best of Brandy. Please stop just putting anything on there. Just check your music before you put it out. Like, it's irritating. All right. I'll see y'all in the next video. This was amazing. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Am I forgetting anything? Look, I gotta go. Peace.